Happy Friday out there to you good folks.
It's Friday. Finally.
Oh, who you telling? TGIF.
Seriously. And unfortunately, I'm not going to happy hour.
Oh no, it's always happy hour if you're happy.
I guess that's true. But I prefer being drunk during my happy hours.
Live your life, sis. Live your life. Well, hopefully everybody out there is enjoying their Friday evenings as well. We have a really exciting show for you tonight, but before we take it there, let's take it here. Oh, introed. Welcome to CnS Comics Tonight. Shout out to my main man, Kim. He's taking the night off, getting a little rest, but he has been going hard. I think he hid something away for us that we're not allowed to look at until a little later on. So I'm going to remind myself of that.
I'm going to try to remind you as well.
Yes, don't let me forget. For those of you who may not know, I'm Wilson the Cosmic King, here with my favorite hostess with the mostest.
Cosplay Bay Nay.
Happening. What's new? What's new in the world for you? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Not much new. Wrapped up 28 Days of Black cosplay last month.
You're
It
bringing the
was
heat too.
Thank you. It was an experience. I think Katsu kind of messed me up there when I
You
was
had too
going.
much fun.
It threw me off. Like I didn't even create enough content while I was there. So, but otherwise, it was really strong. I think, and yeah, it was fun. It was really fun.
Dope. Dope. I had a wonderful week myself. I did a website redesign, which
Oh,
I'm tooting my own horn because I rebuilt the entire not the whole thing, but we're getting pretty close to the full overhaul, and I like what we're doing with the website. It's a lot more interactive. So
mhm.
if you haven't checked us out, you can check us out at cnscomics.com. I believe here in this um, the Facebook stream, you can buy this bundle here, the TOS First New Year's bundle. We're gonna have that up in the shop for until the end of the quarter. So until we get to the end of March here, you'll be able to get all the TOS verse books in a bundle in print sent to you. $20 plus shipping and handling, and that is at cnscomics.com. Or if you click the button here in this thingy.
And that's a steal, man.
It is. It is. It's a
Yeah.
lot of good content. And then what we're doing with issue 4, it's a good way to get yourself primed up for the Kickstarter that we've got coming. The pre-launch is going. Thank you to you 36, I believe, wonderful souls already following the pre-launch. That puts us about a third of the way to our goal of 100 pre-launch followers. I got some sweet stuff that I'll show off to you guys coming up this week to kind of sweeten the pot, show you some of that exciting animation we're making. But I also got some other goodies tonight, um, before we get into the CNX Comics gift box. Shout out to Lena and Max, two wonderful creators. Bristol Media Group, Dope Girls Comics. They wrapped up a Kickstarter not too long ago, and I have gotten my Kickstarter reward, and we are all going to experience this together. See, I like to do the live openings, even though I'd be struggling sometimes to get them. Ooh, see, we get to see it together. That's
Yeah,
from Race right there.
that shit look good.
Oh, that's popping.
Mm-hmm.
They throwing them signs on them.
Looks really
Look
good.
at that. You see that at the bottom? That's
Mhm.
serious. There goes the squad putting together this amazing work. Got to love it.
Yeah, that's dope.
You know, we create indie and we support indie because I honestly believe in the storytelling and the awesomeness that's getting made.
Yeah.
There it go.
This
That's
looks
a beast
so
of a cover.
radical altered. It does say radically altered, right?
Racially altered
Oh,
criminal entities. It's got a cool plot.
okay.
Look at this joint. The interior is fantastic.
Oh yeah, that looks good. I just want to touch it. It looks smooth.
It feels that way too.
Yeah, it looks good.
The gloss on the interior. Oh shoot! Talk about splash pages on them.
Oh
Pla pow,
wow.
pla pow.
The
All
colors
right,
look so amazing.
I'm loving how those blues like
Yeah.
are all so distinct. I love whenever you can make things seem like real light. That's kind of my thing.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh la la. So I've got this fun read, and I also got some new product in for you guys. Now, there's one thing that you got to remember when you're putting your comics away is mind the tape.
Mm-hmm. Because they were caught, and now you can ruin your cover.
I know, and like Max always says, these things are lotto tickets, man. So when that hits the theaters or gets its big break, then I'll be like, well, that very first time it came out. And I also got some more fun stuff for you here. This box is kind of big. You gotta bear with me here. I did my workout today, so I'm a little worn out. If you see me struggling, that's the big box. Because we are just expanding ourselves away here lately. So we had to get us some more stuffs. Shout
What's
out
in the box?
to all you wonderful folks that keep ordering stuff. Don't stop. Get it, get it. I'm gonna start putting the letters down on Dark Fantasy #2 also. So here
Ooh.
soon. See, this is how you know they're live openings when the struggle. If you don't see the struggle, then that wasn't live. Ooh. You know, my favorite times are when you do a live opening and you open it up and your stuff ain't right because you did something wrong and you celebrating a defect. This is the
That will
one.
not be the case today. What's that?
Mhm.
A canvas?
Ooh, these are some more of the 11x7 posters. So the big posters
Mm-hmm.
by request for one of the shops that loves us and carries CnS Comics. They were like, we would like some more of these 11x17 posters. So if
Nice.
you are in North Carolina, in the Raleigh, Durham, Wake Forest, Rollsville area, make sure you go check out Fantastic Comic Worlds in Rollsville. They will have these 11x17 posters that I'm about to spring on you. But check out these bookmarks. Be hooking y'all
Ooh.
up with some of these
Yes,
too.
QR code. Okay.
Yep. I'm learning my lessons. That's the
Yes, I'm
Born
proud of
to
you.
Rise bookmark.
Looks good.
Heck, if you guys order a bundle tonight, I'll throw a bookmark in there with that for sure. So anybody that orders the TOS Verse bundle tonight will also get one of these Born to Rise stickers. And we're all set to fill orders again. Boy, that's a big one. That is a big one. Shout out to Comics Wellspring for always coming through. They are an amazing printer. Whew. All right, that's a big dog in there. That is a big dog in there. It doesn't. I guess you guys can't see that. That's just too much work. There's bubble wrap and
Okay. Is it more
proper
comics?
packaging, and yes,
Mm.
it's lots more comics. but
Okay.
it's issues 1, 2, 3, and the captains because we needed a restock.
Oh, restock.
Oh, we got to keep
I'm
them in
loving
there
this.
because y'all keep ordering them out of here. So I got to keep them in. I keep them in. Y'all order them out. That's the game we play. It's called distribution and publishing. Thanks for playing along.
Hmm.
Fun times though. Fun times. So like when you order from us, I'm like in here in the same little room, putting it in a box and packaging it up for you. We are not like some fancy operation. We are like a family in here putting stuff together. You know, it's fun. It's a lot of fun. But sometimes when it all happens at once, you're like, ooh,
Mm.
I have to get one of these neighbor kids. What y'all doing out there? You want to make a couple bucks? Put some
That's a
packages
pretty
together.
easy couple bucks, I feel like.
Yeah. Just shove it in here for me. You get tired. Support the youth. Give them work. Everybody needs a
Yeah.
little work. A lot of fun. Okay, so I know I'm over here stalling, but I'm going to show you. We're going to see what we got here. The artwork for these was done by my main man, JP Torres, who did the captains as well.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to all the amazing artists working with us here at CnS Comics. My
How
main
many
man,
artists do you have
Sash.
or are on the team?
We work with Sash, JP Torres, Spetty Sousa, Kimney Pierre, and Izu Zuichi, who does the animation in. We also work with Hader, who does some of the animation work for us and also just does amazing animation on his own, one called Paper Cut. If you've never checked it out, go hunt it down on YouTube. A lot of good music too. Very hip hop vibe sometimes in there. But yeah, we've got a lot of awesome folks that we work with on the regular. So
Yeah.
I guess
I feel like
there's a bunch of us now.
I was gonna
Ooh.
say, I feel like you drop a new name every time I talk to you.
Well, oh my.
Let us
C'est
see.
bon. C'est bon. Okay. I got to finish getting it out of the package because my peeps at Comics Wellspring are making sure that you guys get everything in beautiful order. Oh my goodness. These look so good. All right. Well, if you order them, you'll get to see them and you'll enjoy them quite a bit. So make sure you order one so you get a look at them. I love bubble wrap. I truly do. There we go. We're almost free.
Okay. Getting somewhere.
Well, you know, this is the true live openings. The real trick is getting it out of the package.
Mm. I don't think I've
No,
ever done a live opening before.
no
I
live
also don't go
unboxing.
live. So what are we, I don't know
But
why.
you go live every Friday. People
That's
may
true.
not realize this. We've been CNS Comics Tonighting for half a year now,
Yeah.
almost. Like November of last year was the first time we threw down a weekly show, and we have been throwing it down for you guys ever since. So we appreciate you coming out to check us out. We love you for it, and you're going to love these.
Yeah, that looks great.
It is from issue 4, actually. It's called The Battle for Yorn. So when you read issue 4, this one is going to mean even more to you, but it's a
Hmm.
beautiful piece.
Yeah.
Again, shout out to JP Torres. Appreciate the beautiful artwork, and you'll be able to grab these only in stores or if you catch me at a Comic-Con.
This store is
Sadly, you can only get the big dogs when you come out to play with the big dogs. Whoop, 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 whoop. I'm wilding in tonight. You should all wild with me.
Mhm.
But yeah, I love opening packages.
Yeah.
These do look really good though. So I've got some really great stuff in the shop, and I got some really great stuff today from some other great creators, and I am really excited to get into that. So, whoop whoop. There we go. Man, those really came out looking good. I can't
Yeah.
wait to get those into everybody's hands. Pretty stellar. But I really like that piece.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm still stuck on those beautiful blues. That was just amazing artwork.
Oh, yes. I'm telling you, like the
This looks
whole
really good.
layout of this one. And I remember seeing some of these pages like in more of a sketch form and they looked
Mm.
good, but Yeah, this one I think is going to be fire, pure
Yeah.
fire. And it does. The whole book carries that blue theme like all the way through.
Yeah, it's so crazy.
Like it's pretty sweet.
It
And I'm
looks.
pretty sure that you've got to be able to get those pretty soon um, in the live shop.
Oh.
So I imagine you'll be able to catch it in the shop too.
Mm.
Looking good, man. Here you go. Get some red to go with the blue. A little
Mm.
conflict,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Of course.
This is like some really good looking pages here. I got to figure out which hand is which so that I can. There you go. I'm gonna zoom in on that one.
Ooh.
Salut, mon ami.
Ooh.
Salut.
Thank you. I'm sorry. I was gonna comment on her hair, on her blue hair.
You like that? Are
I
you
do.
inspired? Are you
I actually was
inspired?
inspired once I started seeing the blues. I was like,
Mm.
oh, I might have to like do something.
Okay. All right. I'm feeling that.
I
I
don't know.
love it. I love the cover, and I like the way that they're working these blues
Yeah.
all over the place. Like even to me, I love it when the lighting, when you can do like the magic light stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. Finger
Yeah.
tracing, difficult.
Captured so well.
It's just a pretty looking cover. Really good stuff, man. Make sure if you find cool looking things, you support them. You find their Kickstarters, you support them, buy their stuff.
Yeah.
It helps. It helps them want to keep creating and
Mhm.
helps us all get new and different content. I do like these bookmarks. I placed all these pieces together.
It looks good.
I did okay. I do okay sometimes. I be
Yeah.
doing all right.
Like I
Check
said,
the
I'm
website.
very proud of that QR code. That's an important marketing tool.
It's there. Buzz it. It'll take you right to the site, get you to everything you need, and you'll love it.
Who told you to put that on there? Easy, or you did it with yourself?
Why can't I ever have any of
I
the
was just
ideas?
wondering.
It's actually Ryan. So
Oh, your other
the
one.
other one, the one that is like a pure marketeer, he is like,
I should
yo,
have known that
do you
actually.
know what a QR code is? And I was like, those things that my phone doesn't scan, and everybody says my phone's supposed to scan, and he's like, because your phone is garbage. But
Oh,
hey, that's life. It's true. I get the base phone, but it's a good phone. It makes phone calls.
yes. That is the
Ooh,
base of the phone.
right? People forget that sometimes. They're like, oh, you can't do this or that. I can make phone calls.
Can you
I
text?
Yeah, I can text,
Oh, then you
take
straight.
pictures, right? So,
Yeah.
come on, man, don't be hating. So, it is season 2, which has been our special guest season. We've had some really amazing guests, and we are not stopping that trend tonight. We've got a very top-notch creator here to kick it with us tonight. I'm really excited to have him come on. We got Mr. Branson Grant, the creator of the Protector Saga, and he is coming in to kick it with us tonight. Why doesn't everybody just give my main man a welcome? What's going on?
Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing?
Doing all
Good. How are
right.
you?
I appreciate. I'm good. I'm good. Appreciate the opportunity to come on here. It really means a lot to me.
Hey, means a lot to us
Happy.
too. Thank you for gracing us with your presence. What's good? Happy Friday. How's your week been?
Oh, my week's been absolutely incredible. I've been just doing a lot of downtime right now, and just focusing on I just moved into a new house, so I've just been dealing with that. So I haven't had time to get on part of the project right now. But it's still been a really great process and everything like that. I'm still, focused on getting things done and everything. But life just hits you sometimes, so you just got to take time to step back and take care of things at home.
That's very
Words of
true.
wisdom, right?
Yeah. And congratulations on your new home.
Ah, thank you. I greatly appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Blessings to the move. I don't want to do it anymore. So you start getting older, and then like you got to actually move stuff, and then your college
Oh
friends are
yeah,
gone. You know what I mean? And you're like, ooh,
yeah. The moving process was like ridiculous. Like you realize how much stuff you have and how
Yeah.
much stuff you really don't need anymore, and you're just like, why are you still holding on to a lot of it? So Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been a whole thing.
It's like a huge metaphor. I feel like that we just all went through there. Like, how many
Yeah.
things are you holding on to as you move from one place to another in your life? Sometimes you do the same, like check. You're like, I'm about to take this next step in my life, and you realize I got all this extra stuff that I don't actually need to be toting with me. Might actually be
Oh
in the way.
yeah. I sold a lot of my stuff and like just got rid of it. It's like I didn't want to when moving a lot of stuff into my new place and everything, so I was just a lot of downsizing and everything like that. My
Yeah.
office was honestly like the biggest thing that I was worried about was just getting everything that was in there, getting that set up, which I still haven't got done yet. But that's going to be a whole
It's
remodel in itself.
process.
But I can't wait for it.
Yeah. That's
Ah.
exciting.
So, Branson, for those who may not know anything about you at all, tell us a little bit about who you are, where you come from.
My name is Branson Grant. I was born in New York, in the Bronx. I lived there I was only there for like a year. My dad and my mom were moved from Jamaica to New York, and they were there for much longer than that. But they decided to move down to Florida, and that's pretty much where I've been at for the majority of my life. And it's I've had a lot of great memories here and a lot of great experiences, which is a lot tied into the book that I wrote. I wanted a lot of my own self reflection in it. I've just seeing different heroes and things like that, and just fictional characters, and I felt like there was a lot of space in there for to tell a story that hadn't been told before, and places that hadn't been fully experienced yet, and really opened up. So that's kind of like where the majority of the idea of the book came from. Is I felt like there was a lot of untapped potential in like my own country and my own people, and like it was a greater experience for me because I got to actually like do a lot of research and go into the history of my people and stuff like that. So like it was
Really
learning for
explore your
myself, and
heritage.
it was a so that was just great to do. But growing up, I've just always been like, big nerd about like everything, like cartoons and comics and, anime, like all type of stuff like that. So like I just never really felt I had like a character that like really reflected like my own views on like way I would do things and stuff like that. So I just
Mhm.
kind of decided to like kind of create my own like, world and everything like that. At first it just kind of started out as a hobby. I was just kind of just doing it, messing around like for almost like a year or so. So it wasn't until like I started like really like watching documentaries on like the different people who were like in the industry, and like they all had like these like little stories like how it kind of started out as hobbies where they didn't really think they were really going to do anything, and then like something just kind of perpetuated them to keep going with it, and then like kind of just something happened. I was just like, this is possible. It's something I could definitely do and
The
put
scribble
my
in the
foot
break
forward.
room turns into the
Yeah.
life
Yeah.
dream.
Right. Yeah. So
Mhm.
it became like a real goal like later on in life when I started, and kind of really started pushing it forward.
And you can definitely see in the design of your main character, one, the reflection, because your main character is called Brandon Grant,
Yeah.
right? And he's rocking traditional Jamaican colors in
Yeah.
his costume. So he is definitely representing. And for me, I think that's awesome because, like you said, I've not experienced something rooted in a Jamaican deity or in Jamaican um, culture in that way. So I thought that was very interesting. To build a character out of that is something that I don't think I've really come across. Um,
Yeah.
got a couple
I
fighting
wanted to
characters.
like not make it. I wanted it to at first like I had a couple different drafts of it when I was writing it, and I got a lot of different advice on writing and everything like that. One of the probably the best ones I got was to put yourself in your writing when you're creating something yourself, and make the character be able to speak true from where like you can really relate to the character, and then other people can kind of relate to you as well because everybody has groups of friends and stuff like that, and like people bonds that you build and stuff like that. It's because those people relate to you. They get your story, they get where you're coming from. So to have a character like that, it only makes sense. So it was easy for me to write from my own point of view, but at the same time, I had other characters in there that like I wanted to have their own voices and their own things like that. So I incorporated my friends and people who I know and things like that, relationships I've had and stuff like that, and those same bonds have helped make characters even better than they were before because when I was first writing, they were kind of like mouthpieces. They were just like answering questions back and forth. You know, they didn't really have any like, you know, character. They didn't feel like an individual person. Like I could like explore this person by themselves. So I changed a lot of my writing style when it came to that, so that they each kind of sounded different. When somebody walks into a room and they say something, you know it's that person saying it because that's how they sound. That's their cadence. That's how they do things.
Mm-hmm.
So same thing with the main character of Brandon. I wanted his like like his costume design like really didn't change that much from the time I first accepted it, because like the Jamaican flag, it means so much to like the Jamaican people and just in general, because of like what it represents and then what came of it and everything like that. So, and I wanted a character that wasn't like in the Protector universe. Like Brandon as a character has felt like he has basically been hiding. Like he's had to hide who he is. He's not allowed to, you know, like voice who he is, and then, you know, revel in his like, you know, heritage and everything like that. So when he becomes a hero, his outfit is a reflection of that he's no longer hiding, that he's proud of who he is, and this is what he's going to be. There's no mistaking it. There's not going to be a misconception on where he came from and what he's, you know, where he's from. Like he's not hiding anymore. So when that outfit comes
That's
on at the end of the book,
amazing.
that's him no longer hiding anymore about who he is.
Because usually the heroes, the superheroes, wear their costumes to hide who they are.
Mm-hmm.
But your
Mhm.
hero's costume is about bringing who he is to the forefront. I think that's a wonderful twist to the superhero archetype, and another way that you bring a lot of originality.
Thank you. I
And
appreciate that.
that's a really good, and the basic backdrop is all the superheroes essentially get smited. Um,
Like the main group, like the main like the it would be
the
like the equivalent of
superpowers,
Justice
your
League.
Avengers
Yeah,
or your
like they would,
Justice League.
they would be like, yeah, that level of like their main thing. And like you'll find out more about them like in book two. Like,
Mm-hmm.
cause like I got the funny thing is like I created those heroes like literally probably about a month or two before the book even dropped. They weren't initially like supposed to be like in the book. And
Oh,
even that whole like the beginning scene, like the first like 20 something pages, like that whole battle and everything, like that was all added within the first like the last months right before the book went into production. Because like I was watching some interviews on YouTube and stuff like that, and a guy was talking about movies, and that's a big thing for me. Like I'm a big cinematic person. Like I'd always think cinematically, because it's like big, you know, like it's like it's my favorite thing to do. Like I would much rather like watch it like a really great movie. So the guy said like he was basically like, if the first 5 minutes of a movie doesn't capture your attention and it's not something memorable, it won't help you through the slower scenes of the movie. It'll be very forgettable. So like you'll always think about that first scene in a movie. Like if you think of like Marvel movies, like Age of Ultron, the first thing you remember is that giant battle they had, like going to get the staff, Loki staff, and everything, all that stuff going on. Like Man of Steel, there was the whole, you know, Krypton blowing up and everything. It's memorable, immediately gets your impact. So like when they're doing all that talking and stuff later, you're still kind of replaying that scene in your head to kind of get you through those scenes. So I was like, even as a writer, I was just like, I kind of need something like that kind of gets my audience's attention. So like the classroom scene was supposed to be the beginning, but I was like, that's just kind of a lot of exposition. It's a lot of talking. Yeah, it's friends and everything hanging out, but I was like, it doesn't really grab a reader to like make them want to keep going. So I added this scene, and the Divines were already going to play a part, but they weren't going to play a part until later. But I was like, what if they play a part in the
get
beginning,
teased right
and
off gate.
they come in the beginning, yeah, and they come in the beginning, and they're like the catalyst for everything. So like that way, the audience knows like this is the scale of power that Brandon's gonna have to face in the future. Like this higher level of training he's gonna have to get to. He's gonna have to get to this level to be able to really take on any real threat in there. And not only that, show a seasoned group of heroes that know what they're doing,
Mm-hmm.
just like really like not able to handle what's going on, and have like the world understand like these were the best, like these guys were the top tier of like their, you know, superhero teams, and they were just basically like taken out like within the first 20 pages of the book. So it was a big thing. And like the thing it was kind of it's a good and bad thing. People loved it, But then like I got so many messages on like, how could you do this to this team? They're like my favorite characters. Like I was like, you just met them. But so
how could they be your favorites already? You don't know them.
But like the thing is like I love them creating them. Like even if rereading it, I'm like, dude, I really love these certain characters. Like, so I love creating them. They were some of my favorite ones making up, like even from like the costume designs and everything, like the conceptual art, like everything about them was really cool. So after that I like tried to figure out a way to I was gonna write like a Liberty Force like prequel book, and it was just gonna be all about Liberty Force and what happens to them prior and everything leading up to the events of that right there. But I was just like, people kept messaging me about this team, and I was just like, yeah, I wouldn't do that till like after I finished the Protector Saga, or at least where I was like halfway through.
Because you don't
So
want to.
yeah,
You
I was
have
like,
a certified follow up with the Liberty
right.
Force.
So I was like, but then all of the messages and everything, it kind of helped me set like a way to write the story that I could constantly tease things that happened in the past with Liberty Force, bring the characters back, and like let you see into the lives of what happened, and it keeps moving the story forward. So like every book you're gonna like is gonna start out with like some mission or something that happened with Liberty Force, but it's gonna somehow tie into what the current events is going on. Yeah, so like by the time you get to the end, you'll have a full story of like Liberty Force,
how what they did impacted those events. So like I may not understand right away why this Liberty Force event is here with this piece, but when I get to the end, it's like all the puzzle pieces come together.
Oh yeah.
That's
so it's gonna be really
master level writing. Like that's like, as a fellow writer, I can understand the intricacies of planning out and plotting out a universe that's going to do so many mechanics like that play on each other. And as a reader and a fan of just creative work in general, but anything that takes a fantasy type approach to the world is a preference for me. I can see a lot of depth that you'll be able to really get out of the universe that you're building with those deep mechanics. You'll have people doing the dispute thing. No, I think that it's this. No, I think that it's that. No, this is what's really going to happen. And,
and it was honestly, it was stuff like
nerds,
that
we love to do that.
Write better because like you see people like they create entire channels, based off of like who can do what can beat who, and this, that, and the third. Like there's these like just these down hard fans of like everything, just like Marvel, DC, anime, everything. Just so like you got to kind of take that into consideration with people. You gotta like you understand like when you create this, like there are people who love your project so much, even more than even you can. Because like I know creators like mainstream like anime ones, like they'll go and like meet their fans like at panels and stuff like that, and they'll ask them questions like, what did you mean when on chapter 36 when this happened? Anything. They're like, I don't even remember,
just a line, I have no idea.
Like I don't remember. And they're just like, how can you not remember? You created
this was everything to me.
Because
I left my family.
Yeah.
I threw my life away.
Yeah,
what
it's
did it
crazy
mean?
So I mean it's you got to kind of take that same type of responsibility with the story you're writing, and understand the fans, like they have
you
like
can't just leave us hanging like the Night King Game of Thrones.
Like that was kind of crazy,
unacceptable.
But, so I mean they all have their things, everybody, every franchise has their problems and stuff like that, but you just got to keep moving forward and hope that you're doing the best you can for the fans, and hope that they, kind of respect the vision that you're getting and everything. So that's all you can
I write
do.
so selfishly.
There's some stuff I
really
do because I know what the story
selfishly.
has to be. Like I know where it has to go. Like I've already kind of plotted out the ending, even though like I'm still at the beginning. But like there are sometimes like my fans will say stuff and I'm just like, yeah, maybe I can do that, or maybe that will work if I kind of work it like that. Because it's just like at some point you do at some avenues you do kind of just want to give them what they want, because if you can make it work and it works in the way you want it to, then by all means. But like sometimes they don't know what they want, and you got to give them the opposite, because sometimes the opposite is better, because they're like, well, I didn't even think it would turn out like that, but yeah, it'll be better. Trust me, you just got to keep going. Like the next, honestly, our first book was great, and I'm really proud of it. But the second book is going to be like a whole nother monster in itself. Like I'm gonna re-release the first book with the second book. So even if you buy the second book, you'll get the first part with it. And I'm gonna revise the first part just a little bit. No major changes or nothing like that, nothing crazy, but just maybe like
Doesn't
extended
matter. Get
battle
all the
scenes.
versions. Get all the
Yeah, you
versions.
know, you'll get
Everybody
like
out
an
there.
extended scenes of battle and stuff like that, maybe a little extra dialogue and stuff like that, but nothing too crazy. But the second book is going to be like, I think probably now it might be like 400 to 450, maybe 500 pages, just because like I plan on cutting characters because of length, but then the part I got when I got to the end, the ending didn't feel like an ending to me, and I was just like, well, I could just add like 50 more pages, and then I think that would feel like a real ending, and I could add another character in there that I originally planned on. So I'm now working on that, and then I have to go back and then I'll start doing all my editing once I finish adding this part. But the next part, it's just so many more characters compared to the first one. It's such a bigger heat. There's so many more places. He's he gets to visit like a lot of different areas. Like he's going to Barbados. There's more stuff with Jamaica. The stuff in Jamaica really is really cool to me because like I'll give you a little spoiler. There's like in Jamaican folklore, there's a woman called Queen Nani, and she's just like this like warrior woman who like fought, you know, with like you know in the hills and stuff like that, and like she had like four brothers, and like there's mountains in Jamaica named after each one of them and stuff like that, and like there's just so much lore and everything with it, and I was just like I could take all of that and like turn it into like this really cool mystical story and like create like she's part of the maroon people who are the people who were like they were slaves and they escaped into the mountains and they gave the British so much trouble and the Spanish so much trouble that they ended up becoming their own people. Like they don't pay taxes in Jamaica because like they're their own independent area. Like they don't get messed with at all. So like they were like when I heard about them and I've watched like a bunch of documentaries about them and everything like that and the areas they got to, like they entrenched themselves in the mountains. They like used guerrilla warfare tactics. Like they couldn't the British were so used to like these single file line fightings, they couldn't mess with them because they were so like they with the land and knew what they were doing and like and knew the area and stuff like that. So it was such a great story. And it was such like an incredible thing to see like of like my own people and everything like that. I was just like I have to bring this to life in some capacity, like in like the fantasy aspect of it. But like if people hear them and they think to go look up what the real Maroons are and everything like that, like I've done my job. Like that's how I feel.
That's
Like
what just happened
if you
to
leave
me.
and go look up real things, then yeah, then I feel like
Right
I've done my
now,
job.
actively looking at Queen Nani and seeing like all the things you're telling me in real time, and I'm like, well, isn't this an amazing
Yeah,
history
it's
that I
so
had
cool,
no
man. It's like,
awareness of?
yeah, it's so cool. But like at the same time, like I love it so much, and I just like I I always like my mentality is like I want to tell a really great story. Like that's all I care. It's not about anything else, but like because you can have all the cool art and everything you want, but if the story is not good, like it just doesn't matter. Like because like I have a problem with DC right now. Like they have a lot of like DC Marvel, like all the main branches, like they have a lot of great artists on their teams, but like they just don't have good storytelling. Like it's just really bad for me.
It
So
happens in a lot of stories where they get and this is why I turn indie is because they get to a formula because it's worked before, so they do it again, which you know
right,
you're trying to get your money, but it to me sometimes dulls down the the coolness. Like I'm never gonna get Queen Nani if you just keep with the same stuff. So
right.
you know,
So
I need you to expand out that box. I love what you're doing there, and I'll read a novel. I'm a novel type when I'm
yeah,
not stuck having to do all the clicky in for getting
yeah,
stuff done. But um, yeah, I just think I'm not a novelist. I attempted to write numerous novels in my life, so let me pay homage and respect to the Constitution it takes to write 500 pages all together. Like ultimately, I did it, but I didn't do it as a novel with that type of all at once type of deal. I did end up writing it sectionally, but I started out writing it as a novel and realized that I wanted it to be a comic. How did you know that you wanted to be more of a graphic novel and to be more in on the writing side than um, on the art? Was it the extensiveness of the story itself that you wanted to tell that kind of lent itself more to being a graphic novel, or what brought you down the path of that medium?
Honestly, it was a bunch of things. It was like it was time, it was things I was putting into it. Because like at one point I was like planning on doing everything. I was like, I'm gonna draw it, I'm gonna write it, I'm gonna edit it, I'm gonna ink, color, and do all this stuff. Like I got this. So and then like I went into doing when I got to a certain part of the story, I was loving what was going on, and I was just like, I need to see this. Like I really want to see what's going on. So I started doing panels and stuff like that, and it took me so long, like the buildings and like all the debris and everything,
Yeah.
like that. Like it wasn't just the characters; it was everything else in the story. So like it took me like almost probably close to a year. I want to say like 8 months to get like I want to say like 11 pages done, and I'm like, and that's like with writing at the same time and going to events and like trying to meet people and cross promoting and stuff like that. And it was just so much work, It was like it was really big on me, and like I know people like in the industry that do that who can like draw and write and do everything, and like they're monsters. They can do that. It's great. It just wasn't
Absolutely.
me. Like
Uh-oh.
Oh no, Branson, come back. You can't leave us hanging there.
Hi, Naruto, Ryu. I think I did that right.
Think so too. Like a specialist. Oh, I was getting into it right there. It's really, and I love how deeply rooted in
Mm-hmm.
actual history his graphic novels lore is. It's really cool. I'm
Um,
over here reading Queen Nani right now.
do we have any? Do we have any visuals? I kind of want to see. I want to see.
Oh, well, we got the cover.
Yes.
And for those of you watching with us live, you can hit the link and check out Branson's
Okay.
graphic novel on Amazon right now. You can make a purchase, and Amazon will send it to you quite swiftly, as they are prone to do, because they
Mhm.
do kind of deliver pretty fast. Man, I can't even hate.
Yep. They do, especially books. Honestly.
Everything. If you do the
I
Prime
mean,
stuff,
yeah.
Prime people tell me that they just get stuff right then. They fly a little robot in their window that gives shoulder massages and stuff. I don't think that's really happening. Don't listen.
No.
That's that Amazon super special service.
That I can't afford.
All
Oh, got the hiccups.
right, check this one out. So that is
Oh
Brandon
yes.
Grant from Branson Grant's Protector Saga. I just love this. And I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure Branson is drawing these. Now, I believe these images are Branson. I think he's back with us. Let me look, see. Did you make
Okay.
it back? Yeah, you did.
Okay. Sweet. New location.
yeah, sorry, my phone died. I've been out all day.
Oh. I thought maybe you just dropped service or something.
My phone just dies automatically if you unplug it from the wall.
oh
It's a
really?
mobile
You
phone,
really
but it
need to
needs
get
to
a
be
new
plugged
phone.
in. It's a good phone. It's
That's actually a problem.
uh
Nokia.
it even says poetic on the back. This is the phone for me. It's a JV something.
I don't know what that is.
I upgraded from Bloodsport. I love Bloodsport.
Oh.
I saw that in the chat comments, and Jean-Claude Van Damme went hard in Bloodsport. That was a gangster one.
oh yeah, definitely.
That's when he had his legs tied. He did the splits and the training.
Oh yeah, I love that movie. Sorry, what was your last question again? I'm sorry.
What you were in the we were in the middle of just having a conversation about the book itself.
Oh
No.
yeah, so
Nay, put us back straight. Nay's like,
I'm
no,
trying to
that's not what was
remember.
happening, Wilson. You can't turn to me for these things.
You had asked him about. Well, you had. Can you guys hear that?
I think that might have been me.
Oh.
No.
Oh no! But Well, you had asked him about well, you had kind of explained how you couldn't do
He
the
was going
novelist
through on the
thing.
constitution of his, like, what he went through to produce his novel.
Yeah, that's
Like,
what it was.
it's a lot. Like, that's what I mean about novels too, because you you're talking about 600 pages of editing sometimes, right? Like, if you're trying to do that yourself. And one thing that I'll tell you as an editor, I do a lot of editing for people. Um, if you're going to edit yourself, you can't do it all at once. Like, you
Yeah.
have to write it, get away from it, come back and read it, get away from it again, and come back and read it a third time, at least if you're editing your own work. Because your brain does this thing, it just fills in the blanks when it ain't even right, but you read it right because you know what it's supposed to say. And
Right. I can definitely see that.
mm-hmm, it goes down like that. I got me another
You back in there? Oh,
Branson pick that I can share here.
yes. Let's see.
Yeah, this is the one. I like this one. It's a headshot. But he's just got this real cool look on his face here. Like, I wish he would. Don't play me, robot. Yeah, this one.
Oh yeah, that is cool. I really like that he did the
Colors.
yeah, the color. So I was just gonna say that.
And he
I
even
like
did
that he
like
did
the cross on the face, like,
that.
did his thing. Did his thing.
You know what else I like about this character so far? This sounds silly, but I don't see a lot of like men, like black men that like look like men and not like boys or you know what I'm
Right,
saying?
fully grown. Like, he not in his teens. He don't look like a
Right. He's
teenager.
like a grown
Right.
man.
Black Lightning. They did it with Black Lightning.
Yeah,
He was
Black
like
Lightning is a good
in
example.
retirement. It's
Luke
because I'm getting
Cage is
older.
a
I
good example.
starting to relate to Luke Cage too. He's out of
Hmm.
prison. He was older. I'm starting to
Right.
relate to that because I'm older. When I was a teenager, I loved that everybody was a
Of
teenager. Like,
course.
now I'm
Yeah.
like, well, why don't you talk about his struggle working 12 hours a day? That's you haven't mentioned that. He went to work, then he had to go to work again. This man has had a day,
Yeah. That's exactly Black Lightning.
right? Black Lightning was good, man.
That
That was
was
a good
good.
show.
I didn't
See,
finish it, but it was
DC
pretty good.
gets rid of all its good stuff. That's all I'll say. DC seems to hate its own good content. But I have heard nothing but good things about this Batman. So, welcome back,
Me
Branson.
too.
I just snatched you in. I don't give no warning. Just pull you right back in with
Oh,
us.
you're good. I switched over devices, man. My phone is like dead.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Dead.
yeah,
Oh, that's all right. That's all right. Sometimes you gotta step back to get back in.
yeah.
Mhm.
Thanks for joining us again. We were just talking about we love the fact that he looks grown up, like a grown
Yeah.
up man.
Yeah, he looks older when he's the protector to kind of like hide his identity.
Mm. Oh.
So like they wouldn't know that he's actually like an 18-year-old
Shazam
kid.
style.
Yeah, not as old. Like I don't have him like full adult, but like he definitely and like all the ones that I did was like mostly like conceptual versions of myself. So like
Mm.
when Carlos like does them, they'll be like a little different because they'll be in his style. And I've had like he sent me like a few things of like him doing the protector and like they came out really incredible. I can't wait.
Oh,
So this
getting
work
that
is yours though,
redesign.
right?
Yeah, that was an ink over I did. It was just it was cool because I'm a big fan of Jorge Jimenez, who's like
Mhm.
he's the artist for DC Comics. He's working on Batman right now. He's worked on Justice League and Superman. He's done like absolutely incredible work. And like I was a big fan of the Justice Society. So when he took over the Justice League book, and he had the Justice Society guest star, and I just saw this like crazy cool panel with like Jon Stewart and the Flash standing there, and I was just like, yo, what if the
I
Protector
can
was standing
definitely
there
see the
like
John
with that?
Stewart
I
vibes
was
in
like,
this
that
one.
would look freaking dope. So like I like did this cool ink over and like it was great. It did amazing. I'll tell you one
Love
thing.
this.
The cover of the book. There's a story behind that. Like so, I was a big fan of Carlos and his work. Carlo before he
Give me the
like
cover back.
before I even met him.
I'm going.
And so I marked up this whole thing. Like he did this. I was reading Green Lantern, and he did this splash page of Simon Bass like just standing there like all powered up and everything like that, and I'm like, yo, that would look dope as the Protector. Like if the Protector looked like that, this guy was drawing the Protector, this would be incredible. So I did a mock-up of it, like, you know, as the same position and everything like that as he did with Simon Bass. And I went to a con and I had it on my shirt and I had lanyards and stuff like that. And then I met this guy named Matt, who was the inker on Green Lantern. So he was like, "Oh, that looks incredible." I was just like, "Yeah." Like he's like, I did all this and stuff like this. And then he's like, "Yo, you need to talk to Carlos." And you need to talk to Carlo. And I was just like, I was like, no way. It's like, how am I going to get in contact? He's like, here, just message him. I was like, I'll give you his information. Like, I talk to him all the time. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, all right. Like, this guy's not going to message me.
Whatever.
So
this
like,
ain't
yeah,
working.
Okay. But Matt was really cool. So I was just like, and he's like, he wanted to be on the project at the beginning. You know, he wasn't doing anything at the time. So I was like, okay. And I was looking for an artist, and then I wanted to go in order. I was looking for an anchor artist and everything like that. So Matt said he wanted to be on the project. So I was like, cool. And it's like, you'd be the inker. He's just like, well, message Carl. He's like, message Carlo. No. So I messaged Carl for like a month, like, and like no response. And I was like, okay. And then all of a sudden he messaged me back randomly on Twitter. And then I ended up talking to him on Instagram. And then like we started talking about the project, and I started showing him pictures. I showed him that picture, and he's like, oh, it looks so crazy. Like, it's amazing. I want to be like, what can I do? Like, I want to be part of the project. I started, telling him about it and telling him about the characters. He's like, I'm working on my own thing, but this sounds really amazing. I want to be part of this. So like we ended up linking up because of that picture, because he liked it so much and liked the fact that I, paid homage to like this, his Green Lantern and everything like that. And he ended up becoming an artist on the first issue. So like now he's working on the first issue now. And then every page that he's like just turned out to me is like absolutely incredible. I absolutely love it. It just he brings every character that I have to life in a way that I couldn't even thought possible, especially in my career. Like I thought like it'd be years into me doing this before like I even got somebody of his skill on the project. So to have him on it is just, it's like a dream come true. Like
man.
And
so it's a testament to chance favors the bold when you take that risk. And
that's
you
why
go
I tell
out
people,
there,
like,
right?
if you're gonna do this, you got to like go to cons and like meet these people and like, because you never know what they're doing. Like some of them are like in between jobs and they just have the time and they're, you just want to like step out. You just never know, because like every single person who is on the comic is working with DC or working with Image or work. It's like Carlo right now, he's working on Spawn right now, but he just finished a book that has like a Hispanic lead, like a lot of Hispanic lead characters and stuff like that. So like he's super proud of that because he's from Mexico and over there. So like that's what his thing. But like he's also working on Spawn right now. He's working on Green Lantern and Wonder Woman and like so many incredible titles underneath his belt. My inker now is Walden Wong, who's worked on everything under the sun for Marvel, DC, like Image, everything. Warner is my colorist, who's same thing, like so many titles underneath his belt and stuff like that. I have incredible editors and stuff like that. And I just like message these people, and like usually it's one that usually feeds into another. Like Carlo put me on to Walden, and then Walden, he knew Carlo. They've worked together. They go get
their team. And they're like, yo, remember that one time we did this real cool thing?
Same people and building that team. So like it was an incredible experience to get to do that and have these like great people like behind this project. So I know when the first issue comes out, it's gonna blow everything out of the water, because there's such a talent behind it. Like I can't wait till the second one gets to drop.
And that strong writing base for them to work with. A good story drives the artwork and these contexts.
I mean, like that was another thing for them. Like, I wanted my team to actually want to be on the project and not just see it as a paycheck, because the work people put into this when they actually care about the project is much different when they're turning out. Like Carlo, it does amazing work regardless. His stuff is amazing, but every time I see a page that he's done for anything else, I'm like, that's not as good as the Protector Saga. Like the Protector Saga looks way better than what he's putting out for anything else. So I like that. I like that what he's doing for me he's putting like his heart and soul into it. Like you can tell like his real work is going into it. So I never like rush him or anything like that. I'm like, yo, you take your time, do what you gotta do, because I know you're putting your all into it.
Oh man. So for those folks out here who don't know how to get this amazing story, I know you can grab it on Amazon. We've got the link pinned to the top of the chat, and just in Facebook, because I'm terrible at now managing all these different places, because we're on Twitch and YouTube as well. So Twitch and YouTube out there, forgive me. I will get you guys the link as well.
Did everybody freeze?
No, I'm good.
You've got to check out this amazing work. You don't want to miss it. And it's getting ready to be followed up with. It's just me frozen, right?
Oh, I can see you.
I felt myself freeze that. Am I back?
Yeah,
There you go.
I think you're back,
Did I get
though.
caught with my finger in my nose?
Wasn't
There
too
you go
bad.
to my folks on YouTube and Twitch. I've got that link now for you in those places as well. We've got just a few short minutes left. And before we head out, our main man, Kim, he couldn't be with us tonight, but he didn't want to leave us without anything at all. So he made me swear that I would not open the box until we started. But we have a very special thing that our resident artist, Kimney Pierre, does called the CnS gift box, where he just gets caught in his artist trance and starts making greatness for no reason. You know how that goes, right, Branson? You artists, you just see something, you start drawing. I'm like, man, how do you guys do that? So he left
end up at 3 o'clock in the morning with a project, and you're just like, I can't stop.
That sounds like.
If I'm being honest, 3 a.m. is like the power hour.
Yeah, because it's quieter.
Reason.
Like it's like Jim Lee said that like he goes to his office and he'll draw till like 4 or 5 in the morning, because like the night is just like so much quieter. It's just like it's like the world is sleeping, so you can like focus, and like it's just easier to draw. Like when you draw in the days, I don't know. Like I've never really started projects in the day, but it's the nighttime like where it's at, but like I haven't got to really draw in a long time, but I've like started like doing little stuff and stuff like conceptual characters and stuff like that, because I'm still chief designer of all the characters and everything. But nighttime is just where it's at when it comes to drawing.
I do a lot of my best writing same way. Like I'll just and like all sorts of stuff, like even administrative office work. Like I just crush it from 3 to 5 a.m. Then you go get your workout in, have your cup of coffee, get a shower, and then you go get another round of work. And that's how I'm living, at least. So get it. When you love what you do it all the time. That's how I feel.
That's true, man.
Doesn't even feel like work. So Kim, you devilish dog, you are. All right, look at this. This is from our Kim Pachi himself. This toll design.
Oh, we can't see it yet. At least I can't.
No?
I can now.
I'm watching. Sorry if you're missed. Do I have to start over?
Probably. I don't know what you said.
Oh, man. I did that for me.
Oh, it's a video.
Yes.
Oh, that's super cool. I love those. I love watching the process.
Did it stop? Ooh.
Oh, wow. That's super dope.
That came out good.
Yeah, definitely. I love the colors. It was really good.
Me too. And I like those process videos too.
Yeah.
Before getting to run that, though, I really thought that there was smoke coming out of the machines in the room. I was like, oh, wow, it can't run the video too. That was really cool looking.
Yeah, definitely.
I was struggling to do it, but thank you, Kim. Appreciate you doing that, even though you're sleepy and tired, my man. So, I mean, before we head out, is there anything special you want to leave us all with before we part ways, Branson?
Yeah, no problem. If you're trying to do your own thing, just keep pushing forward at it. You need to wake up. I've had a number of people telling me the same thing. You need to wake up every day like this is you've already doing the job that you want to do. Treat it as just that, as a job. You wake up, you put in a certain amount of hours, and that amount of time will implicate to you'll feel like you're really accomplishing something. Don't try to set your goals too high. Try to set small goals because it's easier to build up a bunch. You'll feel like you accomplish something. You feel like you do something. You try to set things too high. You feel like you're failing and you're not doing it. Never let anybody else tell you where you should be. Like people are like, kind of like, you're still writing book 2? Like, yeah, I am, because I'm still promoting book 1 and I'm still developing this. Like, never let anybody else tell you where you should be, because you're the one doing the story. You're the one creating this world and doing what you're supposed to do, or, whatever it may be, whether it be art, writing, rapping, it doesn't matter what it is. You're where you're at is where you need to be at. So don't let anybody else tell you where you need to be at, but you need to be serious about it. Treat it like a job. Always be learning. Always try to like take insights, gain experience from other people, talk to people who are in the industry, gain more as much as you can from things. You can never not learn. Like, no matter the people who come to me, and then always remember, like, a big thing for me, always remember your fans. Your fans they're the reason you're able to do what you do, because if it wasn't for them, you wouldn't be able to do it. I have people message me all the time and ask, like, just random questions about writing, art, promotions. How do I get in the industry? Like, who do I talk to? Like, how, just anything. And I'll surprise them sometimes. I'll just call them. I'll video chat them and be like, hey, look, and they'll be like, it's really you. Like, you're really the person. I was like, yeah, it's really me. It's like, they don't think like most of the time they don't think you're real. They think, somebody else is running your account or whatever the case may be. But I like reaching out to my fans. I love the interaction. That's why, like, it's hard for me to have booths, because I hate just sitting there. I like going on the floor and talking to people and seeing, like getting there. I meet up with my fans and stuff like that and take pictures and give them merch and stuff like that. So stuff is cool. Like, I like doing that stuff like that, because there's a lot of artists and writers out there who like will sit behind a table and be like, I remember when I was on the other side of the table, but they don't really do anything. Like, they're just like, they know how hard it is, but like they don't do anything. Like, I like helping people, and I like putting them on the right path, because like it's an incredible feeling to say when somebody succeeds or they make it and you were the one that helped them get there, or you were the inspiration that got them there. Like, there's people who like, there's like this little girl who's she's dealing with like a lot of like health issues and stuff like that, but like she's like, it was inspired by The Protector and like what the story meant and everything like that, and she's always sending me fan art. I'm always posting it, and her mom and dad are like writing me and telling me like how much it means to them that she's like that. And it's like, you have to think, like, you did something that affected somebody like that like put them on a path or keeps them mellow. Like, you've created something that like really means something to them. So like, you have a responsibility at that point to like keep this going, or be that person that they need you to be. So like, you got to remember the people who are pushing you forward, and the people who are keeping this project going. The minute you start forgetting that is the minute you're gonna, like, your fan base and think you're gonna start suffering, because you've forgotten the reason you got into it. It's really easy to like talk to 100 people, but once you start getting like 10,000 and over that stuff like that, it gets a lot. And trust me, I know. Like, I used to answer every single comment, and I still try to answer every single comment. I go back months and post and like just comment on stuff that people had done like that, because like, I don't want anybody to feel left out, and I try to send everybody a message who follows me as much as I can, and it gets a lot. Like, I can't always do it, because but I try to at least like take a night where I go through like the last 30 people who have followed me, 40 people who have followed me, and be like, hey, thanks for following me, appreciate the support, thank you, everything. And they're just like, oh, no problem, I can't believe you're really writing me. I'm just like, yeah, it's cool, man. I'm just like anybody else, man. I'm just trying to keep the project going and keep everything moving. So, and if they have questions, they can send them to me. I love talking to my fans. I love
He's not lying.
I love doing this.
I
like
just
this
DM'd
right here.
him. I just DM'd him. He was like, yeah, I'll do it. It went down just like
thing.
that.
Like, it doesn't cost
he's
me
not
anything,
lying
man. It's
to
free.
you.
Information is free.
That.
Being a good person is free. It doesn't cost you anything. Like, you just do it, and that type of stuff is what keeps it. Same thing here. Like, I've met so many people on Instagram who are doing the same thing. Who are like the guys from Concrete Comics. Those guys are incredible. Those are like those are top tier freaking artists, writers,
Lonzo, I answer you in a heartbeat.
They will like call me, they will like talk to me like I'm like doing better than them. I'm like, dude, stop it. You got like 8 books out right now. Like, stop playing with me, right? Like like it's great. They're like, and I finally got to meet them here like last like the end of last year. They're
Oh, you guys
incredible.
are
They're
close,
just as
right?
amazing in
Oh no, you're
person.
in Florida.
Yeah,
Were you
man.
in?
Yeah, they're not. Yeah, they're not that far from me.
They're in Philly,
So
so
like
it's not
it's
too
super
bad.
cool. And like we minute we got together, we were like talking about collaborations and everything, what we were gonna do. So like, yeah, I mean, I freaking love Concrete. Concrete's
I like
amazing.
to
Like those,
see
but like
that
those
come
connections can't be made
together.
if you're not like, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
we're trying to we're just trying to hammer something out because I love their world and I love the energy that all the writers and stuff of them have. I'm just, it's all about time right now for me. Like I'm just trying to get enough time to like put it together. But they're
Always the
incredible. But
time.
like those connections can only be made when you reach out and you're that type of person and you're the you continue to do stuff like that. So just always be never be scared to message anybody. Just I mean, because what's gonna happen? Like they don't message you back. Like that's all that can happen. Or they tell you like they're busy. Like it's not really a rejection. It's just you gotta move forward. I would rather get rejected than live in a like I wish I could have or I should have or whatever the case may be. So just keep moving forward and keep the project going as much as you can and don't ever think like because like I've been doing the Protector Saga for like over 10 years now, like and as far as like development and everything like that. And if you tell somebody, if somebody came to you and been like, yeah, your project's gonna be really popular in like 25 years, you'd be like, I'm not gonna do it. That's 25 years. Like, but
Yeah.
but if you give up when 25 years comes, you'd be like, yeah, I'd be like a millionaire right now and I'd be super popular. The world would know me. And it's like, but you gave up because
Yep.
you weren't trying to work for that amount of time and put that effort in. So there's nothing anybody's going to tell me like I'm not going to do it. Like I'm going to keep pushing it regardless of how long it takes. So, and there's too many people behind it right now that I feel I have a responsibility for them to see the end of the story and see Brandon's journey to the very end. So keep pushing forward and never give up. That's what I can tell y'all.
Yeah.
Beautiful words, man. If you aren't inspired yet, then something's wrong with you, but still go buy the book so you can get fully inspired. Branson, we thank you for joining us for a wonderful round of CnS Comics Tonight. Thank you to all
I
of
really
you
appreciate
out
it.
there. Nay, take us out.
Bye. So bye though.
Bye, everybody. Take it easy.